Last but not least, we would like to encourage you to open your eyes and broaden your scope to find new materials that you can recycle into footwear. We have collected a couple of examples to get you started. For instance, Chilean design student Camila Labra creates these booties out of plastic bags from grocery stores. She collects a couple of bags, laminates them together so the plastic is thick enough, and then uses them for the shafts. The ballerinas are made of waste materials from either insulation foil or mattress covers like they use in hospitals. Now you might say, oh, but these materials do not breathe like leather. Okay, well, maybe you win some, you lose some. Then again, they are waterproof. But more importantly, I think that the audience that will wear these shoes doesn't really care about breathability and will find the story behind the material way cooler than the fact whether these materials breathe or not. As you will probably know, they already wear a lot of shoes with rubber outsoles, non-leather linings that are not breathing anyway. So here's another material where the story is way better than the comfort. This company called Above and Below London makes sneakers and shoes of recycled upholstery from the London Underground and bus services. So apart from having a quirky 70s or 80s look that is really trendy right now, you also have a great story for marketing. On their website, consumers can choose from their District Line collection, their Circa Line collection, and so on. However, if you insist on making shoes that are breathable, what you should do is look for other resources for leather. Here's an inspiring example by German brand Circle Training. They are recycling the leather upholstery from old gymnastics equipment. Now, of course, you don't have a huge supply of this, so you can only use it for a premium product, but then again, it has such good quality and has gotten so much more beautiful over the years, of course, with the stains and students leaving their name in it, that people are more than willing to pay a higher price for this. But we feel you should also be able to find leather sources that could give a greater supply. I mean, how about recycled leather car seats or leather couches? Of course, we don't just find recycled materials for uppers, but for outsoles as well. For instance, we now find recycled EVA. Now, EVA as such is not sustainable because it's made with oil and it's not biodegradable. So therefore, it's vital that companies like this, Brazilian-based Jomo Thermal Molding, are coming up with new ways to recycle EVA, not just once, but continually. Another great innovation when it comes to recycling rubber is offered by Malaysian company Green Rubber. They have found a way to devulcanize rubber, something that wasn't possible before, and that is why, for instance, so many old car tires would automatically end up in a landfill because there was no way that they could easily be reused. With a patented process called delinked, the rubber can first be devulcanized and then it can be vulcanized again, which basically means that it can be recycled continually. Now, as you know, a lot of footwear outsoles are made of vulcanized rubber as well, so this means that these can also be recycled continually. But more importantly, since car tires are a much bigger environmental problem, this is a way to reuse car tires and make them into footwear outsoles. That is what Timberland is doing, for instance, together with Green Rubber. In 2009, they added a couple of outsoles to their collection that were made of green rubber partially. 50% is green rubber and 50% is virgin rubber, because apparently, according to the press release, making the soles entirely out of green rubber would not yet meet Timberland's quality requirements. Either way, it is an important step in the right direction, and that also brings me to an important point that I would like to conclude this presentation with. Sustainability is a complex and often confusing matter because for most products a perfect solution has not been found yet. Even all the things that I've talked about in this presentation each have their pros and cons, and that is why I find that whenever I talk about sustainability, people might come up to me afterwards and say, oh, what you just said was incorrect because this and this is not completely eco because of this, that, and the other. Now, that may be true because we're actually still just talking about solutions that are relatively sustainable. But still, I feel that making a small step in the right direction is much better than doing nothing and waiting for the all-perfect solution to come along. So, to simplify and clarify things a little bit, I would like to summarize in which directions I think we should be looking for a better solution in the future. When you look at all the information that is out there, experts seem to agree on a couple of things. First of all, we would need materials made of organically grown plant ingredients that do not require any toxins, nor a lot of water or energy, and that are 100% biodegradable within a reasonable time frame. Of course, we have no need for natural materials that are biodegradable within a couple of 100 years or even longer. At least not for a product like shoes. Then secondly, for all the existing materials that are not biodegradable, we would need to invent processes to be able to continually recycle them. And when it comes to making new artificial non-biodegradable materials, we would have to invent processes that would make such materials within a closed system without any waste, requiring no fossil fuels like oil, very little water and little green energy, and that can preferably also be recycled continually. We don't want to create any more waste. And preferably all of this, all three things, are done locally to cut out as much transport as possible, so it should be done as close to the market as possible. Well, we hope you have found this presentation useful. Like we said, there's a lot more information that we have on both sustainable materials and sustainable construction. Please just check our website for the various publications that we have, or drop us an email at info@ytrans.com. Thank you very much.